Hey, hit the subscribe button. There's a little bell. Do that so you can get a ringy-dingy thing. What does the subscribe button actually do? We're on Netflix. Hey, hit the subscribe button. Also next to it, hit the bell. Immediate notifications when we release new material. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. Bam! Hey everybody, this is Pastor David Schneider. I am the lead pastor with 26-8. We're a Messianic congregation just outside of Boise, Idaho. And in this video, I'm going to talk to you about how you can celebrate and enjoy the Sabbath with your family. Whether you're single, married, or have kids, this question comes up all the time. And so we want to provide some real practical things you can do to enjoy and celebrate Sabbath with your family. We're going to put them in three categories. First category is going to be, how can you get ready to welcome the day and end the day? Second category, some things you can do to refrain from on Sabbath. And then last, what are some principled expressions of celebration and worship and enjoyment you can do? So, number one, when you are getting ready to welcome the Sabbath and say goodbye to the Sabbath, you want to prepare. That's the first thing. Prepare. That means get your laundry done, mow your lawns, fill your car up with gas, buy the food that you need, make your challah bread recipe down below for challah bread in the notes. You can find it on our website too. Prepare. Make sure everybody's ready. Sometimes it's helpful even to dress up a little bit. Set your best dishes out on the table. Have the candles ready when you light the candles for Sabbath. Prepare for the day. Number two, have a family meal with your family and friends. In Hebrew, this is called Erev Shabbat, or literally the Sabbath Eve. That meal consists of 2 candles being lit, blessings over the wife, blessings over children, blessings over bread and wine. It's a way of recognizing the beauty of all that God invites us to on Sabbath. There's a liturgy guide available in the notes below if you would like some help to know how to do that. That brings the Sabbath in, but then when the Sabbath is over, there's a celebration that is enacted within Judaism called Havdalah, which we have found very helpful. And on that, you light a candle, pass around spices to remember the beauty of the Sabbath, drink from a cup called a Kadosh cup that separates the Sabbath from all other days. That's found down below in the notes as well. You will help yourself and your family when you put a bookend of welcoming the Sabbath and saying goodbye to the Sabbath. And then that means each week we're living out of and into the Sabbath. Now, the next thing you want to make sure that you do practically on Sabbath is to engage in community. If you're not currently in a local congregation, we recommend you get into a local congregation, but being with the people of God on Sabbath is part of the way that we're able to not only welcome the Sabbath, but say goodbye to the Sabbath, further to engage the presence of the Lord on Sabbath. Leviticus 23:3 makes it clear that Sabbath has a holy convocation. That means we meet with God and other people to celebrate and worship Him. Now, the second sphere of things that we want to consider is what we do not do. And so, first of all, you want to refrain from the work of provision. That means not going to work. That means not checking your work email. That means not going to seminars for work. All of the stuff associated with provision, laundry, mowing your lawn, all that, you don't have to worry about that. Cleaning the house, you don't have to worry about that. Take a day of rest. I promise you, as soon as the Sabbath is over, all of those things are still gonna be there. Number two, to refrain from entertainment, amusement, and technology. I don't mean don't have a good time and don't have joy. What I mean is watching frivolous movies, participating in amusement or technology, being on Facebook a bunch and checking your emails, all of that. There's a need for us to detach from all of the noise of life and be able then to listen to the voice of the Spirit and enjoy the presence of the Lord. And then the third thing you can refrain from is interpersonal conflict. When you step into the Sabbath, don't worry about dealing with your stuff inside, dealing with other people's stuff, dealing with a conflict with other people. Let it be a day of peace. Sabbath is about inviting eternity into our midst. There's not going to be conflict in eternity. We might as well not have it on Sabbath. Now, here's some things you can practically do, the third area, that will help you start to think about what are the activities that would be unique to you and your family to help you on Sabbath. Number one, sleep. Go to bed early on Friday night if you can. Take a nap after you gather with community on Sabbath afternoon. Let your body rest. And if you'll do that, it will even get into a rhythm. Number two, engage creativity. I don't mean hobbies. I mean creativity with your family, with your sons, with your daughters, with your wife. You could do Legos with your sons. You could do some watercolors. You could do anything that helps foster a creative spirit. However, we're not talking about the pursuit of greater success in a hobby or trying to accomplish more in something that interests you. Number three, we're talking about engaging nature. You can step into nature through walks, through hikes, through a picnic, and just enjoying what God's given us in nature. Number four, worship in the Word. Make it a priority to be in the Word and worship with your family. If you play guitar or as an instrument, you can use that. But you can have a cycle of reading and worship so your family can experience the presence of God together. You can next engage story, past, present, and future stories about yourself, about your family, about your local church. If you are willing to tell the stories that have gone on and you anticipate will go on, you will begin to share a level of intimacy with other people on Sabbath that will make a huge difference. Especially on a Friday night gathering, everybody can tell a story about what their week or last couple weeks has been like and how God's been speaking to them. It's very powerful. The next one is engage intimacy. Moms, dads, sons, daughters, you can take some time to craft questions about what's happening inside of you and others so that as you're telling stories, you're able to then catapult from there to what do those stories mean for us right now and how are they going to foster a greater relational and spiritual intimacy. I recommend you talk about questions related to your identity, to your calling, related to your struggles, related to your fear, related to your hopes and aspirations. And as you're crafting questions around that, your intimacy will increase. Next thing, do food with your family as celebration. Take time to make a meal. Don't turn it into a bunch of work. Turn it into a shared time in the kitchen where you can talk with one another, enjoy one another, sit down, linger over your food, open a bottle of wine, and let the spirit of rest just characterize your eating and your drinking. Last thing that you can do is you can engage the ministry and acts of healing. Serve people, pray for them, bless them, connect with your neighbors. There's an opportunity for us to bring healing into the world on Sabbath, and I recommend that you take time to do that. Now, you can find more resources on our website at 268church.org or on Facebook or on Instagram, and you can also find more resources on YouTube. Thanks for watching. God bless you.